I'm Asaki Matsuzaki, a psychiatrist. When something goes wrong, it might be someone else's fault, it might be your own, or it might not be anyone's fault at all. However, there are people who, whenever a problem arises, tend to see themselves as the victim and try to view someone else as the perpetrator. This tendency is sometimes referred to as victim syndrome. The victim syndrome is not something that has formal diagnostic criteria, nor is it typically addressed in standard psychiatric practice, and it isn't supported by scientific evidence. I myself have never used this term in clinical psychiatry. Still, I thought it might be worth sharing here as one possible perspective, so I decided to talk about it here. People with victim syndrome tend to shift blame onto those around them and try to make others feel guilty. They prefer to create situations where they are not enjoying themselves, but are instead being mistreated. They see themselves as pitiful and seek sympathy from others. People with victim syndrome tend to feel powerless and pessimistic. They believe there's nothing they can do, that they can't change their situation, and that they are doomed to remain helpless victims. Even if, objectively, there is a possibility to solve the problem, they come up with reasons not to try. And even if someone else tries to change the situation, they may find a reason to criticize or attack that person instead. So why does this happen? Here's one way it's been understood. One reason people with victim syndrome may cling to the victim role is that ongoing problems can bring them attention, sympathy, or even serve as a justification for receiving medical care. It's also thought that by identifying as the victim, they are able to escape from various problems and avoid taking responsibility. People with victim syndrome may justify their aggression toward others by claiming something like, "I'm not the one attacking, I'm only defending myself because I'm the one being hurt." It is believed that people with victim syndrome use the victim role to conceal their own aggression. It's also thought that their tendency to adopt a victim mindset stems from past experiences such as abuse, which have led them to view the world as unfair, and left them with a deep sense of helplessness. People with victim syndrome may create unhappy situations for themselves in order to attract misfortune and gain sympathy from those around them. And while that sympathy may bring temporary emotional relief, it doesn't lead to any fundamental resolution. Also, by displaying their suffering, they may cause others to feel guilty as a way of indirectly satisfying a desire for revenge toward past perpetrators. This is also considered to be one possible factor. To begin overcoming victim syndrome, the first step is to recognize your own victim mentality and understand what you're gaining or trying to gain from staying in that state. It involves reducing blame shifting and practicing taking responsibility for your own actions. Even if something is your responsibility, it doesn't mean you deserve to be harshly blamed for it. Or even if you're blamed, you can handle it. Learning to truly feel that way takes time and practice. It's important to let go of the sense of helplessness that stems from past painful experiences, and to recognize that you are no longer powerless. To reclaim the sense that you have control over your own life. To stop relying on others, and to become the main character in your own story. This is the goal. Letting go of resentment and the desire for revenge, and learning to forgive others. These are important as well. To be honest, I'm not entirely sure how appropriate it is to talk about this from a psychiatric perspective. But still, I thought, well, this term exists, and maybe by understanding things through this lens, we can gain insight into certain aspects of the human mind. So there's also a similar term, Narcissistic Victim Syndrome. The wording might sound similar, but it actually refers to a completely different concept. I'd like to talk about that one sometime in the future as well. でした。